Welcome to a look back on the legacy of Mr. Yuck. In 2021, we are celebrating 50 years of Mr. Yuck. So we decided to sit down and talk with former and current Poison Center staff about how Mr. Yuck began and how he has been used as a poison prevention symbol during the last 50 years.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Brown and I am the community educator here at the Pittsburgh Poison Center. Today I am going to be talking with Dr. Richard Moriarty, who is a former director of the Pittsburgh Poison Center. And Dr. Moriarty was instrumental in the establishment of poison centers across the United States and for the development of the nationally known iconic poison warning symbol, Mr. Yuck.
So what was the motivation behind the development of Mr. Yuck?
There were a couple things that I thought about. Number one, we needed to get out the word that there was a for real poison center with for real people that were there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they sort of knew what they were doing. And if you had a problem, give us a buzz. So we had to get our phone number out to the world. But I was also concerned that at the time, and still a number of places, the traditional warning symbol was the skull and crossbones, which just happened to be part of the logo for the Pittsburgh Pirates and still is. Okay, and I thought, that doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. If we're trying to teach kids to stay away from things, and there's what looks like the Pittsburgh Pirates sitting on a bottle or something. And I thought, okay, we need to think about that one too. And so as the grant came in, I was beginning to hire folks, and so I thought, okay, I need to get somebody that has a PR background, okay, and we need to sit down and figure this thing out. And the first thought was, well, let's see how kids see poisons. And so we were not, the PR firm that this fellow came from, Nick Garber, here in Pittsburgh, also had a branch in Florida, walking on the town. And so we did our studies there to make sure we weren't messing around with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we started off basically with sort of preschool age kids and said to them, if you got into a poison, what would happen to you? And the recurring answers were, you die, you get sick, your mother would yell at you, okay? And we thought those are all pretty good things. We then worked with a graphic artist from the PR firm and said, can you put those ideas, death, sick, yelling, into some pictorial representation, which he did. We then went back to another group of kids with those three things, and the skull and crossbones, a stop sign, the happy day sign, and all that. And said to the kid, okay, which one don't you like? And the yelling face lost the popularity contest. We said, okay, fine. Now the traditional warning color was red. Well, come on, kids love red. Okay, just take a look at their toys and their clothing and on and on and on. So red ain't that real turn off color for kids. And so we sat down with a bunch of sort of fluorescent colors, including red. And went again to kids and said, here's a bunch of colors. Give us a hint. What one don't you like? And the fluorescent green was the one that turned them off. And we said, okay, now we had a yelling yelling face, a background color. We put those two together, go back to the kids, and again with skull and crossbones and a whole 9 yards of other things. And the kids who looked at it and we said, which one don't you like? And they picked a yelling face on the green background. In fact, one of the kids in the study group said, that looks yucky. And we said, we got a name. We'll call it Mr. Yuck. But every Mr. Yuck sticker, and I hope it's still true, carried the telephone number of a poison center, because we never claimed that it was going to keep every kid from getting into trouble. It's not going to do that. Childproof packaging doesn't always keep every kid from getting into that package. And I served on the committee, the CDC, Food and Drug, that brought you childproof packaging. I was one of the people that brought those that you can't open. The kid can't, but you can. And so we said, look, no, this is not the cure-all, but it not only will carry the telephone number of a good poison center, okay, that meets certain standards, open 24/7, got people who know what they're doing, and you call them and they'll handle your problems, okay? But you need to know what to put it on. So we used it as an educational program. The first stickers, and hopefully some of them still today, on the reverse side of the sheet of stickers that we were handing out, listed the kinds of stuff that you needed to put the poison and they put the Mr. Yuck sticker on. And as I said, every sticker carried a phone number. And so we said, put one of the stickers on your telephone. In those days, we had dial phones, okay? We're talking 1971, 72 is when everything began. And so that was the beginning of the Poison Center and the educational program that blossomed into the whole Mr. Yuck program.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about Mr. Yuck. You mentioned that he was originally developed for community education. What was the response from the community to Mr. Yuck?
Dynamite. Just absolute dynamite. We were fortunate enough to now be getting some more grants, and we did a TV commercial. Okay, we had both a 30-second and a 60-second one, and that first commercial really was put together well. There was a second one, and that was put together even better. And the first thing I saw, well, I came into work on Monday, and my secretary said, "We're getting all kinds of phone calls." I said, "Yeah, why?" "Didn't you watch the Super Bowl?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, didn't you see our commercial?" As a public service announcement, our 30-second commercial was shown on during the Super Bowl that year. Now, even in those days, it cost an arm and a leg to get on, that kind of deal, and it was done for nothing, okay, because it made sense, it was done well, and people wanted to sort of show off what was going on in Pittsburgh, which is fine by me. So we had, right from the very beginning, tons of support. When we began then to produce education programs for teachers, okay, I still run into, and they're still going on, okay. I'm sure, I know that you have a package of stuff that for teachers, okay, to do their thing, and they do their thing, okay. You see they're still doing that. And they love doing that. Over the years, I've heard tons of stories from teachers that, when they figure out that, I was the one that sort of got the whole thing going, thanking me. Okay, I said, "Now you shouldn't be thanking me, I'm thanking you, because you're doing the trench work. You're out there, okay, spreading the word, and the word continues to be spread. It does have a life of its own, and I'm delighted that there's still poison centers around the country that are using it. As things moved into having a universal number for poison centers, that makes perfect sense. We obviously couldn't have done that in 1971, or really during my stay at the Poison Center as director of it until '83. So yeah, they've gone with the flow of technology and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's good. I'm all in favor of it.
So let's do a couple of fun questions. What is one of your fondest memories of your time at the Pittsburgh Poison Center?
There's been so many things. I guess the thing that still touches me is just to run into people who know that I sort of began the whole thing, and they're thanking me for doing it. And I said, you got a hell of a lot of people, other people to thank too. There are an awful lot of people who are willing to go on a crazy ride with Crazy Moriarty and see what happens. That has been the quote fun part of the whole thing. That they're just people that are willing to do their all. Particularly the folks that answer the phones. They're there for a long time, sometimes through the night and everything else. And so it's really all the people that I worked with over the years. some of whom are still, around and are friends. I have a lot of very pleasant memories.
Good. All right, last question. What legacy do you hope to have left?
Well, I hope that Mr. York continues. I think it will. I think it's been ingrained in the psyches and minds of people. And so I think there's a willingness to continue education programs, particularly the teachers are so dedicated to these things. So I think as long as there's stickers floating around, there'll be educational programs. So I think that will continue. Obviously, I think having set a bit of a blueprint for what a poison center should be will continue to carry on. Because I can't imagine any other way that it can operate. Yeah, we've gotten better at getting information, and the whole field of medical toxicology has expanded tremendously. We were flying by the seat of our pants back in the 70s. That's going to continue to expand.
Well, Dr. Moriarty, thank you so much for joining me today to talk and to help us to celebrate 50 years of Mr. Yuck.
Well, I was 7 years old when I started the program. That's odd.